everyone, welcome all of you to this yet another interesting yet very informative session on the ODA Class YouTube channel. Now my dear students, today we will be learning a very important topic, that is acids, bases and salts. Now my dear champions, if you want to continue to learn such amazing concepts and topics, then I invite you all to download the ODA app from the Play Store. Now this is a live, innovative, interactive app that you can download and learn so many different concepts. You can also join our booster program that starts every Monday, and my dear champions, you will get so much in this booster program at a very affordable price of just rupees 29.49 or 99. So you all can join. I welcome you all. But first, let us start the topic. Let us see what all things we will be learning today. But before that, let me introduce you to myself, my dear champions. My name is Kritika Sharma. I am your Master Science teacher here at ODA Class. More about myself. I have completed my post-graduation from Punjab University, Chandigarh. I'm also rank 1 holder in PU CET, as well as in my more than 2 years of teaching experience, I have taught, I have mentored thousands of students. Some of them are also Olympiad rank holders. Now, my dear champions, let us get into our topic for today. Now, first of all, before learning any topic, we need to understand as to why are we learning this topic. Now, as I said, today we are learning acids, bases and salts. So this chapter, dear champions, it is not only important in, your school examinations level, right? In all of your school examinations, whether you're from CBSE board, ICSE board or even state board, whatever board you are from, this chapter is very important. You will be getting questions out of it, and obviously it is important as far as we look at the competitive exams. So in Olympiad exams as well, this chapter carries a lot of weightage. Other than that it also has importance in the higher classes. So in higher classes, you will be getting more and more concepts, and this topic will act as a base, right? So we have all understood about why this chapter is important. Now, my dear champions, let us have a look what all things we will be covering in this chapter. So as the name suggests, we will be learning about acids, we will be learning about bases, salts and also indicators, right? So now, my dear champions, let us start and let us have a look at all of these topics one by one. So the first question that comes to your mind is, how do we categorize these things as acids, bases and salts? So my dear champions, there are so many chemical compounds around us, right? Now these chemical compounds, all of the chemical compounds, they have a particular nature. They can be either acidic, they can be either basic or they can be neutral. But how do we come to know that, okay, this thing is acidic, something is basic or something else is a neutral? For this, we have certain characteristics for everything. Now the very first and very basic characteristic for anything to be an acid is that it has a sour taste. Alright, but does that mean it has a sour taste so just we can taste anything and identify that it is acidic in nature? Well, the answer to this is no. We shouldn't be doing that, dear champions, because there are other characteristics as well. So look right here, dear champions, have a look. So first of all, let us go through the characteristics one by one and then we learn them in detail. So the very first characteristics is the taste, that is sour. Okay, acids, they are sour in taste. Does that mean that everything that is sour in taste is acidic? Well, there are some other characteristics also that something needs to be, it must qualify this so that it can be termed as acidic in nature. What are these? So whenever we dissolve an acid into water, right, it should release the H plus ions. Other than this, it can also, it also reacts with a base to give us a salt as well as water. Alright, now let us learn all of these things one by one in detail. Now, look right here. So, look at the heading. Acid, it releases the H plus ion when it is dissolved in water or in an aqueous solution. Okay, let us try to understand this with an example. So we have hydrochloric acid and then we have water right here. When we add these two, you can see these two ions. So it has the acid, it has dissociated into two different ions, that is the H plus ion and the Cl negative ions. Alright, so this was all about that they give us H plus ions. Now let us move further, let us move to another property, that they react with the base, and when they react with the base, they will result into the formation of a salt and water. So this is something known as the neutralization reaction, and we will learn about it later on. Alright, now let us try to understand with an example. Here is an example. Once again, we are taking an acid, that is a hydrochloric acid. Other than this, we take a base, that is the sodium hydroxide. So this right here, it is a base. When we add these two, when we are mixing an acid and a base, what are we getting in turn? We are getting a salt, that is sodium chloride. Okay, so we got a salt and then we got water. So this was all about the properties, or how can we classify something as an acid. So all of these are the properties that it must satisfy. Other than this, we also need to classify the acids. Now let us learn in depth how we can categorize or classify the acids. So on the basis of their source and on the basis of strength, we can classify acids into different types. So based on their source, okay, so we can classify them either as the organic acids or as inorganic acids. And based on their strength, we can either, classify acids on strong acids or the weak acids. Now we will learn about these classification one by one. So first of all, let us learn about the organic acid. Now when you hear the term organic acid, what do you get from it? Right now these days we all are about organic things, organic vegetables, organic fruits. So organic means natural, For a layman term, we can call it organic means natural. Now, since we are classifying them on the basis of their sources, here by this what we can understand is these organic acids, they are obtained from the natural sources. Okay, they are already present in the nature. They contain organic compounds, and these organic acids, they are generally weak in nature. Okay, they are not very strong acids, not very corrosive in nature. They're generally weak in nature. Now let us try to understand, let us see some examples of these organic acids. So we have oxalic acid, we have citric acid. Now citric acid, you must have heard, citric acid is present in, citrus fruits like oranges, like lemons. So all of this is what obtained from a natural source. We have tartaric acid, generally present in grapes, bananas. We have formic acid, acetic acid, malic acid. There are so many different acids that we can obtain from the natural sources, right? Let's move ahead, dear champions. And now we will learn about the inorganic acids. So just like how we understood that organic acids, they are obtained from the natural sources. Now inorganic acids, they are just the opposite of that. They are obtained from the earth's crust. Okay, sometimes these acids, the inorganic acids, they are also classified, or they are also termed as mineral acids. And why is that so? Because you can look right here, it is obtained from the earth's crust. Earth's crust, it is abundant in so many lots of minerals that we find, and hence we can also call them as the mineral acids. Now they contain minerals, or you can say inorganic compounds, and the examples of inorganic acids, they include the hydrochloric acid, nitric acid, sulfuric acid, carbonic acid, and so on. So I hope you all have understood how we can term anything as an acid. So first, it has to be sour in taste, but that does not mean that you can taste it. Okay, acids are corrosive in nature. That means whenever they come in contact with any object, they would deteriorate it or destroy it. So do not taste the acids, right? But this can be one characteristic, that they are sour in taste. Other than this, what do? They give out H plus ions in an aqueous solution and they react with base to give us a salt. Now let us move on and let's learn about the bases. Okay, so just like how acids are important part of our life, we find acids in most of the things that we use, bases are also important, right? So let us now learn about bases, and yes, another way how we can categorize anything as a base is that it has a characteristic taste, and it is that it is bitter in taste, right? So bases, they are bitter in taste. Anything that would have a base in it, it would taste bitter, right? Let's move on and see these are the characteristics on how we can classify anything as a base. So first, it tastes bitter. Second, it reacts with acids to give us salt and water. And another very important thing is that in an aqueous solution, when we add in water with it, it gives us the OH negative or the hydroxide ion, right? Now let us try to understand all of these points one by one. So first, have a look right here, dear champions. So once again, I take a base that is sodium hydroxide. When I react it with water, what do I get here? I get Na plus ion and an OH negative ion right there. So with this example, you all can remember that whenever we add or we react some kind of base with water, what do we get? We are getting a OH negative ion right there, right? Now we move on to the next term, and next type on the next basis how we classify something as a base is it reacts with acid or anything that is in acidic nature, and what it would produce? It would produce a salt along with water, right? This is the reaction that is right here. Now let us classify these bases just like how we classified the acids. So these bases, these can be classified either as a soluble base or an insoluble base, right? Now the soluble base, it can also be further classified into an alkali, alright? So this is all we had studied about the acids and the bases. Now, as we were talking about a reaction which I mentioned very frequently in this session, was that whenever we add an acid and a base, it gives us salt and water. So we will learn and we will understand about this example further. And this type of reaction wherein we add these two opposite things, that is acid and a base, whenever we add these two things, this type of reaction is known as the neutralization reaction, right? So let us dive into it. Let us understand more in detail. Look right here. So the reaction between an acid and a base is known as neutralization. Now this right there, this definition is very important because in many school examination, it has been frequently asked for, another 5 marks or sometimes in 2 marks, 1 mark a question. This definition is very important. So all of you champions right there, you all can note it down. What is a neutralization reaction? It is nothing but a reaction between an acid and a base, right? And as we know, whenever these two things react, they give us something that is neutral, okay? That is neither acidic nor it is basic, and it is what we call as salt. And along with salt, there is a byproduct that is water right there, okay? Let us move further. Let us learn more about it. Now, in a neutralization reaction, these acids, this base, whatever we have taken in this reaction, they would neutralize each other. What do we understand by neutralize each other? They would cancel out each other, okay? However, it does depend on the concentration of the acids and bases. If they are of equal concentration, right, they would neutralize each other. Do not worry, we'll study about it more in detail later on. But right now, important point to note here is that neutralization means cancelling out each other's effect. Alright, they would be cancelling out. Yet we take another example. The similar example that we are going to take, we take hydrochloric acid. we take sodium hydroxide. When we add these two, when we combine an acid and a base, they would cancel out each other, they would neutralize each other, and we would get something neutral, that is a salt, that is sodium chloride, and as a byproduct we get water, right? Now I am saying this term again and again, we'll get a salt, we'll get a salt. What exactly is a salt, dear champions? Let us learn that. So salt right here, okay? Let us try to understand what is a salt. So as you might have observed, dear students, that when this neutralization reaction was taking place, there was something new substance formed, है ना? A new substance that was formed, and that substance is salt. The new substance being formed right there is a salt. Let us learn more about it. So salt, it is produced when an acid reacts with a base and they dissociate into the ions, right? Let us learn about it more. So look right here. They dissociate into ions like I was saying. Now I have a salt right here in front of me. This is NaCl. Now NaCl is the formula of the common salt that we use in our day-to-day lives. Whenever you dissolve it in some aqueous solution, it would give you ions, right? It would dissociate into ions, that would be Na plus and Cl negative, right? This would dissociate into ions, and my dear champions, what is its taste? So as the name is suggesting, it will be salty in taste, right? It is salty in taste and its appearance is crystalline, right? So if you might have observed, or this is an activity for you, you all can do that. So just observe the salt. Just take some salt in your palm and observe it. You can observe some tiny crystals of salt. Same is the case with sugar. These are some tiny crystals, and its appearance, what we call it as crystalline, right? So remember it, that there it tastes salty and its appearance is crystalline, right? Now finally, what do? We will just compare the acids and the bases, right? Let's just compare them so that you can remember the difference among all of these, and yet it is very important. Definitely it is asked as a 3-marker question in your school examination, that differentiate between the acids and the bases. Okay? Now here we go. Alright, so let us differentiate between acids and bases. So these acids, these taste sour, alright. However, on the other hand, the base, they taste bitter in nature, okay. Whenever we try to taste something that has a base in it, it would taste bitter. Another very important difference is that whenever we dissolve an acid into water or in an aqueous solution, an acid would result, or it would give us the H plus ions. However, on the other hand, when we dissolve a base in water, it would give us the OH negative ion. Alright, so these are the two main differences between the acids and bases. Now what if someone asks you the similarity? Now the similarity between the two is, when they both react with each other, they would give us a salt and water, right? So this was it. Let us just quickly revise what we have studied in this class. We have studied about acids, bases and salts. Acids, they are sour in taste. The bases, they are bitter in taste, and salt, as the name suggests, they are salty in taste. We studied about the differences, we also classified them, and we also studied about the neutralization reaction. Now in the next class, we will learn more about the neutralization reaction and also about the indicators. So stay tuned for that class as well. And my dear students, if you want to learn such amazing concepts in a short, quick, yet and very effective way, then I welcome you all to join our booster program. Now this booster program, it starts this Monday, and you can join in for a very affordable price of just rupees 29, 49 or 99. In this booster program, there are so many features that are given to you. First of all, it will be a 1-week long program. Other than this, you will be getting math sessions, science sessions, and the important part here is that you are assigned a personal mentor teacher to look out for your academic needs. Any problem after the class, you have a personal teacher right there for you. For one whole week, you can experience our amazing ODA platform. You will be getting homeworks as well. You will be getting tests on the app, and all of the study material will also be available to you in the form of ebooks. To join in, you can find a link in the description box, and you can enroll yourself or your child for a very affordable price of rupees 29, 49 and 99. Right? As I have said, the link is available in the description box. All you have to do is tap onto that link and you can complete the enrollment for your child. Other than this, you can also win some amazing gifts while collecting these ODA coins. To experience all of it, do download our app from the Play Store and experience our amazing ODA platform. Now that was it in this class. Stay tuned for the next class, and thanks everyone. Thanks a lot.